Alright, what is poppin' everyone? We are back on the Pokemon Online Team Builder today for episode 6 of Team Building with Emvee, which is of course the series where I show you guys the building process of a unique team that has really been working out a lot for me. And in today's episode, I'm going to show you all how I made this really cool Mega Banette Offensive Lord squad. I even made a completely new account, fresh, starting from the bottom. Now we here. Literally climbed over 1700 in an hour or two, which was crazy. You can imagine the kinds of quick battles you can get from using a squad of this caliber. Also, I've taken notice. I mean, I do read all the comments, of course, and you know, in previous episodes of this series, I have noticed some comments were like, "Oh, you get wrecked by this Pokemon," or "You have nothing for this Pokemon." Like, I want you all to understand that. Keep in mind, like, we're in a generation where not every single Pokemon can be dealt with a team of 6, and also, since this is a fast offense team, you're technically supposed to have significantly less switch-ins to Pokemon as opposed to, I say, like, bulky offense or balance. So I just wanted to get that out there because, you know, for this team specifically, I've tested it a lot. I haven't really had any problems at all. Really good team. Like, I literally started from 1000 and I climbed up to, I'm already past 1700 right now on a separate account that is completely new. And it's definitely, I can safely say it's one of the, well, it is the best team that I've made so far in 2016. And before I get into the building process, I just wanted to say in about 24 hours, I'm going to be releasing the live that I did with this team. And you all will see the true power of this Mega Banette squad and of Mega Banette himself or herself. And anyways, I chose Mega Banette because it's one of the more underrated Mega Pokemon right now. Has a lot of potential in the OU tier due to its ability Prankster, as well as I guess also the specific coverage it gets. I mean, it has priority, and you'll see when I go to the moves right now, when I go to the moveset, you'll see what I have on here, which makes it very interesting Pokemon. It also has, you know, the ability to burn everything with Will-O-Wisp. Of course, except fire types. It defense-wise, it's not the best for a Mega, but its attributes will make up for it in general, I guess. Very unique Pokemon, and it really works best on offensive teams. I mean, like, whether it be hyper offense or just regular standard offense, I probably like wouldn't recommend it on a bulky offense team, just because it's not that bulky. It's best used alongside fast-paced hazard stack, I guess, and it's a great anti-spinner due to its ghost typing, so that it blocks, you know, it blocks rapid spin, and Prankster Destiny Bond can really help you get rid of other offensive threats. It's a pretty handy Pokemon, pretty nice Pokemon. So let's take a look at the set that I got here. As you can see, I'm running an Adamant Nature, nice max attack. This attack, of course, goes up by a lot. You're past 400 with this attack stat once it Mega Evolves. Really nice attack stat, especially for priority Shadow Sneak. Now I have Gunk Shot here, right? Gunk Shot will be able to nuke fairy types, and when it Mega Evolves, it has a speed of, I think, it's got like 180 something speed when it Mega Evolves. Like I think it's like 186 or something, but it's faster than all the defensive fairy types like Sylveon, Clefable, and stuff like that. So Gunk Shot is a clean, I'm pretty sure it's a clean OHKO after rocks. Very powerful indeed. And yeah, also we got Will-O-Wisp here. Like I said, with the Prankster when it Mega Evolves for burning and Destiny Bond. Pre-Mega abilities Insomnia, so you can safely switch in on a Spore, which I have done before while laddering. I switched it to Brillium Spore, and I don't Mega Evolve, but I Wisp or something, or even Shadow Sneak. It's very nice, very nice. Oh no, you can Mega Evolve too, I think. But it's a really cool Pokemon. Mega Banette, it's so underrated in the OU tier. I was laddering from 0 to 1700. Oh, no, not 0, but 1000 to 1700. I did not even encounter one Mega Banette, so I was feeling pretty proud using this Pokemon here. But that is going to be the set here. So max attack, everything invested in, or almost everything in HP, and just the rest in Dispet F. It's a pretty, well, I don't know if it's a common set. It's not even like, it's not on the Smogon Analysis set, but it's a nice set, nice Mega Banette. So that's going to be our first Pokemon here, and alongside Mega Banette, I did need a Pokemon that was, of course, able to, I guess, hazard stack efficiently, since Mega Banette, like I said, Mega Banette works really well with hazards because it does act as a spin blocker. So I didn't want to give one Pokemon rocks and one Pokemon spikes, because I felt that it would take more unnecessary time, would waste a slot, I guess. I didn't want to do any of that, so I decided the best Pokemon that would go with Mega Banette would be Custap Lead Skarmory, which is such a good Pokemon in terms of setting up hazards. It does its job really well, and it doesn't waste any time at all with what it does. Firstly, you know, you're not only decently fast, because Skarmory is pretty much the exact same in the exact same speed tier as Bishop and Breloom, which are decently fast Pokemon if you're running max speed Jolly, which I am. So firstly, you're not only, like, you're pretty fast. You're decently fast. So you have a taunt, which can work versus slower stealth rockers and setup sweepers that are slow. But you also have sturdy, right? So as long as you're not taunted, you're pretty much guaranteed, or if you're not taunted by like a faster taunter, you're guaranteed to get up at least 1 layer of hazards. And with the Custide Berry, which you can see I have here, you will, you'll be able to get to that sturdy level, and then you'll have a nice little priority versus other regular moves in order to get up either another layer of spikes or a Brave Bird if you want. And yeah, there's a lot of potential with what you could do with this, but hazard stacking is very nice, especially for offensive teams. So I'm pretty much just max attack, max speed for defense. The max attack will allow your Brave Bird to do more. Say, you're low sturdy range and you want to just do as much damage as you can before you switch into the next Pokemon, or pretty much it's pretty much a suicide lead in that sense. So it's a very nice Pokemon, and yeah, that's pretty much it with Skarmory here. It's pretty self-explanatory once you see it. So yeah, Brave Bird, Taunt, Spike, Stealth Rocks, nice lead, very nice Pokemon for spike stacking or hazard stacking offensive teams. Now we have a nice spin blocker. We have a Pokemon that sets up both rocks and spikes and also taunts. So this team is extremely offensive, with at least a taunt lead. I figured I didn't want to take the approach of alternate means of hazard control. I didn't really want a rapid spinner or a defogger on this team. I just wanted to go, just complete offense. So what I did now was, since I have a spin blocker, I don't necessarily have a way of blocking defog. So I wanted to at least punish Pokemon that would, I guess, try to defog away these hazards. So what I did was I figured that, a classic example of a Pokemon that punishes defoggers is Bisharp, because Bisharp does have Defiant, and when like, let's say a Latias defogs, Bisharp can switch in, gets a +2 attack. It's pretty commonly seen in the OU tier. But I didn't really want to go with Bisharp. I wanted to go with something a little bit different, something nice, a nice and powerful mixed attacking Life Orb Defiant Thundurus here, which is it works really well with this team. And of course, also, by the way, you'll probably see like what threats each Pokemon deals with in this white box here. But basically, Thundurus here is such a good mixed attacker. Like, people only realize, it's less commonly seen than, I guess, regular Thundurus, which have, Nasty Plot or T-Wave or just 3 attacks and something else, but it's very underrated, and people realize how good it is in battle when it's too late. When I'm actually just knocking out Pokemon after Pokemon with this thing. It's so overlooked, and, it's just nice coverage. Thunderbolt here, of course, main stab with HP Ice in order to hit stuff like Garchomp and, Lando T. Knockoff and Superpower are really good under, especially if you get the Defiant boost, because Knockoff just destroys everything. Knockoff is a really good move, of course, in this gen, and Superpower will be able to hit stuff like Excadrills, T-Tar, you name it. It's a good, really nice moveset here, and it's just a standard Defiant Thundurus set, mixed attacking set, but it works really well for this team, which is why I do carry this for this team. Now, I wanted to add a good sweeper as my next slot. So because now we have a spin blocker, we have a hazard setter, and a defog punisher. So I wanted to add a sweeper for this team. Since this is an offensive team, offensive teams need, or in my opinion, need a sweeper. So I went ahead here and added a Belly Drum Azu, which under hazard stacking conditions puts in so much work. Like, everything just gets weakened, everything will just drop to Aqua Jets, Player Ups, and stuff. So that's exactly what I did here. Provides a nice type, some nice type synergy. Gives us a reliable Draco switch in, so I guess in that sense it's also really good. Pretty standard, nothing really new here. It's just a standard Belly Drum Azu, and it pressures your opponent a lot because when you're hazard stacking, if you get like a rock and a spike, it makes it so much harder, or it makes it so much worse off for your opponent in terms of them having to switch out. So they're gonna switch less, and Belly Drum Azu just puts so much more pressure on them in that way. So I felt it worked really well for this team. And it did. It really did. And okay, so we got 4 Pokemon here. Next, I wanted to add, I guess, a Revenge Killer, which can take advantage of teams, especially when hazards are up. To weaken, especially when we have hazards up and we can weaken Pokemon upon switch in. So I kind of wanted a Pokemon that could sort of, revenge kill. And it didn't necessarily have to be the strongest thing out there, because hazards are going to be able to help I guess, any decently good at attacking Pokemon in order to KO threats and stuff. So I added here an Alakazam, especially also since I don't have a Defogger or a Rapid Spinner, and Alakazam has Magic Guard, meaning that it can switch into hazards easily, preserve its Sash because of the Magic Guard. So this is the Pokemon that I added here, and it's still a really good special attacker. It does a lot of damage, even though it's not like Mega Alakazam. Still has a really good base special attack, and it has some nice coverage as well. So I chose Focus Sash Alakazam here. It was a little bit tricky. I mean, even because it has excellent coverage, so it was all about trade-offs in terms of what I felt I really needed to have coverage moves for. So as you can see here, I have Psychic, which is of course what all Alakazam should have, Psychic or Psyshock, but that Psychic coverage of course you need on Alakazam. Now I went here with Dazzling Gleam and Hidden Power Fire. The reason I did that was because I felt that, because you can run Shadow Ball, you can run HP Ice, Focus Blast, Energy Ball. There's so many different possibilities you could run on Sash Alakazam, but I figured Dazzling Gleam would be nice just because the only Pokemon that I have for Mega Sableye is Azu, in all honesty. So I felt Dazzling Gleam would be nice, especially when we get up hazards, or if we get up hazards, in order to, I guess, pressure Pokemon. And plus, Dazzling Gleam is able to, after a rock, it can do a KO Mega Sableye, so we'll at least have that sort of coverage in case it hard switches into us. We can predict that, or if we have to revenge kill it later on. But that's really good for that. Plus, it also hits Dragon types, which is what also HP Ice does, so I figured that would be nice. Well, it kills 2 birds with 1 stone pretty much, and I have Hidden Power Fire here to attack the Scizors, Ferrothorns, and stuff, because I figured those would be pretty threatening for our team, so I figured having that Hidden Power Fire coverage, or that fire coverage, would be good. And T-Wave, of course, to just slow down threats in general. I mean, it's pretty standard on Alakazam, or even you could even run Encore or Taunt, or even Calm Mind I think could work here with Sash Alakazam. But I figured T-Wave would be nice, spread some of that yellow magic that Jamvad despises. But yeah, I added an Alakazam here. There's just a lot of options you can run with this. Didn't really want to run Focus Blast, even though I know that this set pretty much just gets walled by Heatran. But having Heatran in just opens up, like if Alakazam goes down to Heatran, it just opens up a possible sweep with Azu, in terms of just belly drumming on that Heatran, because they might get forced out or they might decide to stay in. But it worked really well in that sense of giving Azu a chance to set up. But that's why I have here Alakazam, which is a good revenge killer, and it works really well for the team. And it's nice. It's got the Focus Sash. You can check Pokemon really well. So finally, I wanted a late game physical cleaner that was immune to electric types, because as you can see here, I don't really have any sort of electric switch, and especially to Magnezone. And so what I did was I added a Scarf Garchomp, which is a really underrated Garchomp set, I guess. I mean, since pretty much the main set that you see in OU is rocks. It could be like Rocky Helmet rocks or Sash with rocks. I guess sometimes you also see SD Chomp, which also could have rocks. But I figured Scarf Garchomp would be a nice sort of change from what you usually see. Also, it can potentially take Pokemon by surprise, since it is not what you commonly see, and also it can also open up a win condition that your opponent may or may not see until it's too late, since not many people prepare for Scarf Garchomp. They're usually prepared for Rocks, I guess, Rocks Garchomp, and they have something that can outspeed one of those Rock Garchomps. But Scarf Chomp is actually really useful, and it has saved me so many times where if I did have like a Stealth Rocks Chomp, it would be like I would have lost the game probably. But Scarf Chomp has really saved me a lot. Pretty standard Garchomp set, as you can see here. We just have the standard Outrage, Dragonclaw, Earthquake, and Stone Edge. Self-explanatory moves, you need like Outrage and Dragonclaw both, because one locks yourself in, one you can just spam without worrying about getting locked into something. Earthquake, of course, is its main or best powerful ground type move for this Pokemon that you're going to want to run on all your Garchomps pretty much. And Stone Edge, which will be able to hit stuff like Togekiss, which will otherwise wall this Garchomp completely. Very fast Pokemon, very nice attack, very good speed for this tier, and it's pretty much the Pokemon that seals the deal for this team and makes everything fit together, I guess, is what you could say. And I faced a variety of teams all throughout the testing that I did and the polishing of this squad, like Rain, for example, Balance, Offense, other types of Sand Offense, other types of offense like that I mentioned, Stall, and I haven't really come across anything that has been too troubling for me, and I've been able to deal with pretty much everything. So if you have any questions, about the team, let me know. Otherwise, feel free to try it out. I do have an importable in the comments of this video, so you can always, get your impressions on this team before the live goes up tomorrow in about 24-ish hours, and always look forward to hearing from you guys in the comments. So feel free to try this team out, and yeah, thank you all for the support and for watching this, and I hope you're all excited. I hope you're all excited for this live because it's going to be really cool, and I will see you guys on the next one. Peace, guys.